This is WOMMLP operating out of Burlington, Vermont, 105.9 The Radiator. It's the Rocket Shop. Good evening. I'm your host, Tom Proctor, and with me tonight is H3adgear. Hello.
Hello, Tom.
How's it going, Max?
It's good. We are happy to be here.
We're very happy to have you in. I think I've seen you a few times in the Burlington scene at this point, so naturally I wanted you to come in for my own personal private performance. So I appreciate you being willing to do so. We like to kick it off with a song, so what have you got for us?
This is a song called Speed of Time.
Y'all ready? All right. 1, 2, 3.
Jet black hair, hazel eyes. I can't believe the speed of time. Still waiting on your weekly news. The elements got nothing on you. It's you, it's you, it's you, it's you, it's you. I wanna grow up together. Let's go back, build time we never had. I wanna grow up together with you. I wanna grow up together. Let's go back in time, you're clever. I wanna grow up together with you. I see you here, so much the same. I look so different. I barely know my own name. It's hard to get the words to come out right. Do you feel the same as me? Do you think about those summer nights? It's you, it's you, it's you, it's you. I wanna grow up together.
Time there by H3adgear. Max, let's start off with introducing yourself and the rest of the band, or anyone with a microphone in front of them introducing yourselves, I guess.
My name is Max Higgins. This is Danny LeFrancois, Castle Franks, and Ben Schnier on the drums.
Oh, wonderful. And obviously I've met Dan before from Danny in the Parts. I feel like a few of you have got different bands, actually. I believe Dan's the only one that's come into the studio so far, though, right?
Oh yeah, I've never been here.
Oh, yeah. Oh, everyone has bands. Castle has a band called Vehicle, and Ben has a band called Blueberry Betty.
Wow. So I feel like this is a kind of a, I don't know if it's a Burlington phenomenon, I don't know if it's just a general kind of music phenomenon, but everyone seems to play in different bands. So what are the unknowns about playing in multiple bands? Have you ever accidentally played a song from another band and with a different practice? When the first time you play with another band, does it feel like you're cheating on your first band? How does that work?
That's a great question. This is my only band, and everyone in this band is in roughly 10,000 bands.
Right.
But you've played with Danny in the Parts.
I've also played with Danny in the Parts.
Right.
That is so true.
Yeah.
We have all been a part.
So has everyone else, and I think I'm yet to be in Vehicle, but
Yeah, okay.
but consider me in.
There are a couple of iterations.
Yeah.
So you guys all play in different bands, but effectively they're all the same band, but with just different names and different iterations.
Yeah, different names, different songs,
Yeah.
different. Same us.
Similar.
Right. Is the need to be in different bands, is it about exploring different genres? Or is it about just wanting to play with different people? Why do so many people in this city play with different bands and different kind of iterations and different makeups? What's the compulsion there? I mean, Max is the only one with a one band, so I guess you can't really answer this question.
I think we have to. We're like we just have to. Otherwise it'd be kind of upsetting to the other people.
I also think.
We just, which just builds your own base anyway. So.
And I think everyone's band is their own project to perform their songs. So Danny's band plays songs that Danny writes, Castle's band plays songs that they write, and so on and so forth. So this is my one where it's this is my one, but everyone's, I think it's like, we all have fun in the band because everyone
In
has an
different
opportunity,
ways.
to do different songs with different
Yeah, in
different
ways.
people.
Yeah, you see it from a different perspective, I'm guessing, especially if it's, Danny and Danny the Parts is obviously your band, Danny, so I'm guessing your role here in H3adgear is very different to the role
Yes,
you play.
I like it a
Danny
lot.
does.
I get to just chill,
Just turn up and play.
do the mad minor chords.
And yeah, this drummer is, I was about to get onto the drummer question in a second, but this is a very different kind of sound and style to Danny and the Parts. How much crossover is there? Have you ever started playing any kind of shoegaze music at Danny and the Parts, or are you like the two shall not mix?
Definitely crossover here and there over the years, a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and sometimes Danny will have a moment where he'll bring some partness to this.
Yeah, it's like where Phoebe Bridgers and Connor Oberst kind of
Yes.
in the middle
Yes.
somewhere. I don't know.
So I have trouble trying to define H3adgear as a genre. So like cute core is one terminology that you guys used. Indie tonk, I thought maybe.
Yes, I love that. I'm deeply trying to find the correct words. Cutecore is a word that keeps being given to me,
Yeah.
so I'm accepting it. But I love indie tonk. That sounds right.
Emotionally available emo, because I don't think emo is actually emotionally available despite its name.
Yeah.
Okay, I love that.
So yeah, how do you define your sound? How did you come up with this in the first place?
How did we come up with this? I've been writing songs, and I did a singer-songwriter session at Radio Bean, and Ben talked to me after the show and said, "Hey, can I play in your band?" And I said yes, but there was no band. So I got Danny, Ben brought Castle, and I have
It was a
been...
trick.
It was a trick. We all tricked each other. And the songs, I just write songs that I don't know. I think they sound a certain way, and then I brought them to the band, and people were like, "Oh, they actually sound kind of like this," and I was like, "Oh, you're right." So I think it's been a process of figuring out what I sound like and what the songs sound like. And the band has helped me do that. So it's been awesome and still a process.
Yeah, did it start out with this kind of melancholy, but I don't know. There's a drive to the rhythm as well. You know, you kind of get taken in by it. It doesn't, you don't come away from it feeling sad, even though it is kind of melancholy. Is that how it started out, or did it develop into this?
Yeah, I'm sure Danny can speak to this a little as well. I think it from the beginning. The songs feel a little bit sad, but I didn't feel sad playing them. And I was like, I wonder where that fits. I'm curious how you feel.
Yeah, I think that's true. There's definitely I've seen some people cry at our shows.
Definitely.
It was either because we were so bad or because we were making them cry. I don't know which one it was. But.
It feels like a good sad, though. It feels like the sort of sad you have after watching certain Black Mirrors.
I think I would love that to be how people feel.
Yeah, I know, and it's also, there's also kind of dancing in parts and whatnot as well. Do you feel there's comparable bands out there, famous, non-famous, like Burlington-based or international, the way you're like, oh yeah, this is kind of what the general kind of area that we're in?
I can say some bands, and I have no idea if it's true or not, and you can let me know. But the one I was thinking is that Danny and I started playing together. We were playing the Phoebe Bridgers, Conor Oberst covers, and I feel like that's where a lot of my songwriting started, like that sort of area. And again, I don't know if it sounds like that. And then I feel like as I've been playing with these two, I've been getting so influenced by all the bands that you're in and all of the local bands circulating right now. And I feel like every time I go to write, like I am so inspired by all these bands that I want to sound like them, or I can't think I'm not influenced. So yeah.
Yeah, and it's hard not to be as well. And you guys have been very prolific in there. How long have you existed for?
Since May? Since last May.
We're not even a year old yet, and I think I've seen you at 3 or 4 different venues in the last 3 months. So yeah, incredibly prolific. You're always on some kind of playing in some bar or some venue.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, is that being super intentional? Is that if they've been knocking on your door, you mean like we want to get headgear in? What's been the journey from literally coming out of a songwriting class, if you will, at Radio Bean to like playing basically every weekend?
I don't know if it was intentional. I think gigs started to come up, and and also Ben books at Radio Bean.
Oh, Ben books bands.
Ben books bands and started presenting gigs, and we kept saying yes.
Okay.
And since then, more gigs have come up because we are now a band that plays gigs.
I think we said no once.
I think we said no once. There was one. It started with like one gig.
It was like Carnegie Hall or something.
Yeah.
It was like, nah.
Madison Square called up and you're like, I'm sorry guys.
But I think I was like, I would love us to play one gig. That would be so awesome. And we had one booked, and we were just practicing all summer. And then after that, like kept being shows.
I kind of forgot about the rehearsals. I don't know if you guys did or not, but I just don't really recall them at all.
I remember them.
Do you?
I remember them in such detail.
Because we kept the set small, which is good. We don't, we kept it like 45 minutes, so that had a lot to do with it too. So we could just hone in on that.
For a band that started in May, 45 minutes is actually a fairly decently long set.
Sure.
I've seen internationally touring bands with one album that have struggled to fill a 45-minute set. So. It must have kind of clicked quite quickly for you guys.
Yes, and I've been at this writing songs out of the pressure of we keep playing and we need stuff. So, I started. Ben asked if I wanted to be in a band, and I knew these
it's
two.
Ben's fault.
I had seen them play, and I knew they played in proper bands. And I had 2 songs written, and I was like, well, by the next practice, I certainly better have a third. And that's every practice since. So
you've come to the practice every time since with a new song.
Hopefully.
But that's been the case so far, or your practices getting further and further?
The practices are getting a bit further apart.
Further out, yeah, because you just basically playing live all the time, so you don't need to practice as much.
Yeah, I would say it's not every practice anymore, but the first 4 or 5 practices I was trying to come with a new song, or being like, I have a new one and we'll have it next time, and
Wow.
then bring it for the next practice.
Do you feel like this obviously internal pressure? I don't think anyone in the band here is asking you for this.
No.
Do you feel
No, they're not ruling with an iron fist.
yeah, giving you a text like the day before, being like, "You better come with the band. You better come with a song this time."
I think I did do that once.
Oh, I think it's possible that Danny one single time.
I was like, just bring a new song. Dude, okay?
because people like to play. It's not
Right.
good.
Do you feel like internal pressure is what you need in order to be creative, in order to write?
I think it has, yes, internal and slight external. The external just being a deadline has been immensely helpful for me, because I was writing songs on my own for years extremely slowly and thinking they weren't good at all. But I think also having the space and knowing that we would play them together helped me feel more confident that they were going to land in a place that felt good. And I will say, like, having the deadlines has helped me write, and I don't feel pressure, and it has helped my process so much. Like, I feel like I'm able to write way more.
Like vibes.
It's vibes. And purely to answer your question, vibes.
So, Max, you were saying that you've written for years and years and years. This is the first band, I'm assuming, you've had?
Yes, it is the first band.
What was that like the first time that 3 of the people played a song that you'd written?
It was so scary for 30 seconds. The first 30 seconds, so scary. And then amazing. And also hearing what they had to bring to the song. I think in my mind, I'd been writing by myself for so long, I thought I knew what the songs were. And then to have all of these new factors and be like, these have so many places to go and stuff that is not in my control in the best way. I brought them to life in a way I could not even expect until it happened.
Wow. Was that a very vivid experience for you? Do you come back to that a lot?
Yeah, that first practice, you've never heard this before, but yeah, that first practice lived in my mind in such 3D for that reason.
Have you managed to, because you said you bring this thing that you've had internally and you've kind of visioned it out in your brain as to what it's going to sound like, and you bring it to these folks and they turn it into something completely different. It's marvelous, it's magical, it's whimsical, but you've got no control over it. Has that process changed a bit? Have you kind of started to learn how to control what these guys are going to produce when you bring a new thing to them?
I don't think so, but I think I feel braver about saying what I think it might sound like, or just voicing, I don't know. I don't know if it's control, but I definitely feel more empowered to be in that process.
So maybe steer it, maybe not control, but...
Yeah. Yes. Definitely
Guess
over...
I'll just quit.
They seem like lovely people, I'm sure.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, my gosh.
They're very kind with your music. Talking of which, we would love to hear another song.
Yes.
So what have you got for us?
Should I introduce it every
Please
time?
do.
Please. This is a song called Waiting on Summer.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
And the summer, they only get shorter. as you try to find what you're looking for. And I wonder what the future looks like now. I wanna run and hide. I'm tired of waiting on summer to start. I'm tired of waiting on summer to start. I'm tired of waiting on summer. I feel like the summer is passing me by. I feel like the summer is passing me by. I'm tired of waiting on summer.
One, two, three.
I'm tired of waiting on summer to start. I'm tired of waiting on summer to start. I'm tired of waiting on summer. I feel like summer is passing me by. I feel like the summer is passing me by. I'm tired waiting on summer.
Headgear there with Waiting on Summer. So yeah, Max, tell me a bit more about your writing process. So apart from the fact that you give yourself some pretty nuts deadlines, you have lyrics that are quite raw. They can switch to being quite cutting to being kind of quite nice and fluffy and lovely. What space do you need to be in to write this? Where are you when you write? How does this happen? And actually, I'll follow up the next question in a second.
Okay.
Yeah.
I write all these songs when I feel something that I don't think I can get out in a different way. And I've been doing comedy for the past year or so, and that is where a lot of my feelings about things go. But then there's always this like small portion of stuff that I can't fit anywhere else, and I'll just write by myself because I need it out. And then some of those, I'm like, I feel good about that. That sounds, I want people to hear that. And sometimes I don't.
Do you ever start writing comedy and realize it's a song, or a song and then realize it's comedy, or?
I don't know if that has happened because they feel so, like they have such a different like timbre to them in my mind. But maybe I think I've had like a half second where I thought I could write like proper comedy songs. And I think it's maybe not for me at this time.
Yeah, I mean, you can always work up to it, Flight
Totally.
of the Conchords probably started somewhere else.
Right, and I think right now what I have is like I'll have one line that I think is funny because it's like a dry funny.
Does
like
anyone
I
know that it's funny?
think unclear.
So is the follow-up question from that was, since you started being in a band and also being a comedian, so a lot's happened for you in the last year. This has been a banner year for you.
Yes, that's been about a year for both.
Yeah, 2022 for Max has been you're soaring.
It's all coming up, Max.
Yeah, it's all coming up, Max. Has your process changed in terms of writing since you created a band?
Not too much. I just think it has surprisingly less pressure now, I think, since I'm writing more, whereas before I wasn't writing very much, and every single song felt like the end of the world if it was good or not. And now I just feel I'm writing more casually, and there's just a lot more coming up. So it hasn't changed very much, but it feels really good.
And you say that you're writing for years, but you're still writing a new song for each practice. Are you not taking any of the older songs? What's happening with those? What's happening with the body of work that came prior to this incredible 2022 for you?
I started doing this thing where first I didn't realize I had been writing for years. I thought I had been writing not at all. And then I looked back at my notes app and it went back to high school with like one verse of a song I never finished. But what I did, like Summer in particular, that song, the first verse came out of something I wrote my junior year of high school. And the rest of what I wrote wasn't good, but I really liked that one bit. So I took it and I finally believed in myself enough to make it a song. So some of it has like just a sentence from something that I wrote a long time ago.
I see. So it's every song we've got is kind of just fragments from this storied past.
Yeah.
Just being built around. That's really cool though. Do you notice that when you're singing it, when you're up on either here or on a stage and you come across those lines that you wrote? I don't know how old you are, Max, but 5?
I'm 25 now.
Yeah, so lines that you wrote 7 years ago, do you sing that song now on a stage in a mic and then be like, in your head, like, oh my God, yeah, I wrote that when I was 17?
I will have just half a second because I will actually forget that that's what happened. And then I'll say it now and be like, oh my gosh, yeah. And that's very special to feel like that. Just a little part of that time has been carried over.
Yeah. So talking of high school, the name, H3adgear, so it alludes to its visions of high school, of gigantic orthodontic headgear. But this is kind of it's kind of a nostalgia that you, I'm assuming, didn't actually see. I've not seen anyone with actual headgear since ever, because I'm 33 and that never existed in my lifetime. So the name, where does it come from? Are you alluding to a thing that never actually existed for you? What's this about?
It came from a dentist appointment gone awry. And no, I've never had headgear, but I came into band practice and my dentist had suggested I possibly go to the adult orthodontist. So that fear has been looming. And then I believe Castle said, oh, do you mean like headgear? And that was that. I in my memory, it is distinctly you. It is certainly...
Might have been.
Danny, I don't want to put you on the spot, but you may have gone to high school when there was people with headgear. So.
Did I go to high school? Yeah, no. I did a little bit, and there was some headgear there.
Yeah. Did it have the reputation that we kind of see it as now?
Yes.
Those
This is very sad.
Those poor souls.
Yes, very, very, very
Yeah.
bad.
But is that the kind of imagery you're trying to evoke with the story, with the name? Sorry?
I think it felt resonant. I don't know if it directly,
Probably,
but
yeah,
I certainly think I could have been someone who had, like, it easily could have been me. But no, it feels that I think all of that surrounding
also,
imagery
like,
feels.
like helmets too, and just like different,
Yes.
like ear buffs.
We
and,
started taking that out.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've gotten
Snorkels.
looser with headgear.
Yeah, we've had snorkels. We've had animals on our head, actually, stuffed animals.
I did kind of notice that with the band pictures. There's always some kind of. Yeah, I think you're wearing a hard hat in one, and you got a gigantic headphones in another.
Junie whistle.
Genie whistle. Yeah, we've gotten creative with our interpretations.
Yeah, is that something you bring on stage as well?
We have yet to. I think we probably should. I think
Probably
I really
Saturday.
maybe possibly wanted to for the very first gig, but then I got scared away from the idea. But there is so much time.
Themed outfit. What?
Yes, yeah, we've done a singular themed outfit night, but
What was the themed outfit?
It was a show at the very end of August, and the theme was coming back from summer vacation. So we got thrifted vacation tees. I had a Florida shirt and a hat, and Danny actually had that hat.
Lovely hat.
It has survived past its.
Looks like you went on holiday in the northeast, maybe.
Yeah, very
somewhere
capey.
with pines and mountains.
Capey. Very capey.
Well, we'd love to hear another song. So yeah, what have you got for us?
This is a song called "Your First Apartment," and it's one of the first songs I brought to the band.
You ready? Yes. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Do you remember running between the bars? So cold I can barely hold a cigarette in my hand. Then back to your place, sitting by your window in the dark. The dark. If I think about it, if I concentrate real hard, we're standing in the snowy footsteps leading up to your little yard. Kissing in your doorway, I was a young American, barely getting my start. My start. If I think about it, if I concentrate real hard, we're standing in the snowy footsteps leading up to your little yard. I know I can't be everything you want, but can you blame me for trying to hold on? We're holding on. And when we think about the people we were then, were we ever them at all? So nice to think about the way we were back then. Floating through the Florida. I know I can't be everything you want, but can you blame me for trying to hold on?
First Apartment there by H3adgear. Max, got to ask, is that about something specific? I mean, it feels very pointed. Whose first apartment? Your first apartment?
No, it was not my first apartment. No, it was, I was writing about remembering the first apartment I lived in with a partner. Yeah, that's what that song is about.
Yeah, it's a lovely song.
Thank you.
So, I mean, you guys are all, you're a new band. You're not even a year old yet. I'm very curious to know what you're going to do for your first year's birthday party, which is...
Cake.
Cake. Still coming 5 months away, so you've got a while to think about this one. So it's kind of natural that you haven't been in the recording studio yet, but it also feels like you've got a decent enough body of work to actually get some kind of record out. So what's happening there?
That has been the question. I've never gone through the full process of recording an album, so I think I just need to ask some more questions and poke around, but I'm absolutely interested and would love to just have some of our songs recorded, just to have, and for if people want to hear as well.
Yeah, it'd be nice to have on a playlist,
Yeah,
you know? I mean, you'll have these three, but they'll all be, you'll have my voice wittering on in between them, so you'll have to do like the whole stop-start on the recorder with the tape, when you were a kid. You guys are all too young, but you know what I'm not talking about.
Points to Danny.
Yes, I do. You literally tape it together.
Yeah, you would literally tape it together, yeah. They'd be on the top 40 on a Saturday when they were playing it. You would record it, and then you would have the top 40 for the week. But you'd have to make sure you would clip off the DJ after he started talking.
This is a full activity.
It was a full activity. It was like 3 hours of fun.
It was Casey Kasem.
Yeah. So, do you know what songs you want for the album? Have you whittled it down? Is it a case of whittling it down? Is it I want to record everything that I have put out there?
I feel like we don't have too much, so I feel it would be most of what we have. But I definitely have like the ones I brought for today. I really like and feel good about.
Don't we have a 30-second song too?
We have we have a 30-second cover that we also would simply have to include.
That's like there's an interlude or something. Have you got an idea for what it might be called in the album?
Oh no, no
that's
idea
way
at all.
Too far ahead.
Way so too far, but. Yeah, I'm hesitant to say literally anything on that subject.
So, as I say, you're very new, but you have been playing a lot of venues in and around Burlington. Any kind of favourites so far? Is there any ones you've returned to? Any ones with the best kind of atmosphere? What's been your best night on stage so far?
I mean, our first gig was so fun, and the energy was so good. We've been playing at Radio Bean quite a bit, which I think is familiar and comfortable, and we all have such good associations with. But that first show, it was in Light Club Lamp Shop, and it had been pouring rain all day. And it stopped we all loaded in the rain, and then it stopped, and it sort of got sunny for that moment where it's like the ground is all wet, totally sunny, like the air is weird. It was so hot, but like all of our friends showed up, and Saturn was so amazing, who we opened for. So that, I'm just telling you about a show I really liked now.
It sounds great. In fact, I mean, in that same sense, that first practice you had where these folks were playing your music for the first time in literally years. You've never had this before. What was that like in front of an actual physical live audience full of like friends and whatnot? I mean, that must have been quite an experience. It
was very surreal, and especially since I think for a second I was like, maybe no one is showing up, because it was 5 minutes before the show started, and within like a 7-minute period the room was full and it was people I knew, but then also people I didn't know who were there for Saturn, and that felt very special to have people I don't know listening to my songs, and then obviously my friends for showing up, but like that, it was very surreal, and I knew when it was happening I was like, this is a special show. So just gonna.
How does that compare with, because you're a comedian as well, how does that compare with the first time you kind of got on stage to do comedy?
different because the first time I went on stage to do comedy, I was not good. I was supremely unfunny for the first while. But like in terms of like the first show where I went on and was like, oh, like we can do this. Similar but different. And I think the band is different because I get to be standing on stage with my friends, and that has like a different feel to it. To be like sharing this and we're all doing it together, and even if no one showed up, we'd still be like having fun.
Yeah.
So they share some things, and then the band also has its own special things.
I feel like also with comedy, you're eliciting that reaction from a crowd like immediately, whereas with a band, you kind of like, we sit and listen for the 3.5-4 minutes that you play, and then we clap and we cheer and we go, "Oh, that's very good. Please play another one." But with comedy, it's a little bit more immediate.
Yes.
That kind of reaction. So I would imagine it's a lot more daunting, in fact.
Yes, it is daunting for that reason. With the songs, people come up after and say they liked it, but even so, like you can create some space between yourself and the audience in that way if you don't want to hear that stuff.
Right.
But yeah, certainly that immediacy is all.
There's only about time for one more song, but I'm really curious. As we've been kind of talking about this, it's really been in 2022, Max. You've decided to do comedy. You've put a band together, doing great on both fronts. What happened a year ago? What was it? Why? How did you get to here from 12 months ago? What moment in your life where you're like, all right, actually, I'm going to do all the things that I've been wanting to do forever, and actually you went out and did it. So what happened?
Yeah, my life changed so much. I was going through it last year, and I thought I was going to feel that way forever, and I needed to put myself into something where there was other people, and I was following a creative pursuit. And I think both of these things happening at the same time, I don't know if this is answering why, but it's just sort of how it worked out, pulled me through that and out of that, just like a hard time, and started to give me like a sense of vision about what the future might look like for me in a good way. So I've just been following that. But yeah, it's happened so fast, but also a year ago feels like so much longer than that. So it's hard to even feel like, I don't know. It's been truly a surreal year.
If you're having fun, then you might not notice
Yeah.
the time that's going by.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but I sort of reached a point where I was like, why not now? And I'm not saying that I'm old, but I'm starting to get to an age where I'm like, okay, like I see how I see that this is going to keep happening every year. I'm going to get old. Like we might as well start. I don't know. What am I waiting for?
Well, I'm glad you stopped waiting, to be honest, because you've been doing fantastic on both fronts, and very, very grateful that you've kind of created all of this for us, because it's very good.
Thank you, Tom. I appreciate that.
As I said, we've got time for one more song. So
Amazing.
What have you got for us?
This is a song called Supercomputer Heart. I need some reminding that I'm not a kid. Cause I'm having trouble keeping my insides in. That interior world seeping into mine. got no choice when reality wears thin. And they say when you know, but I lost that power long ago. My heart is a supercomputer. My heart is a supercomputer. I think one day I'll be happy if I think if I could be happy. I think one day I'll be happy if I think if I could be happy. When it's time to go, I'll remember not to set my sights so low. My heart is a supercomputer.
All right, H3adgear playing us out there with Supercomputer Heart. Guys, thank you so much for coming in. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
Of course. When are you next playing? Could we forget this?
We're playing on Saturday at Nectar's, opening for Karina Reichman.
That's going to be awesome. I would wholeheartedly recommend anyone to go down and have a listen. Also, Nectar's classic venue. Have you played there before yet? It's the first time?
I have not played there, but I worked there for a long time, so I'm very excited.
All right, there we go.
So you know.
Finally use the green room in for realsies.
And not just walk by.
Not just walk by. Well, once again, thank you guys so much for coming in. Next week, we will have Burlington's favourite communists, Marxist jargon, in. But for now, this has been WOMM LP operating out of Burlington from 105.9 The Radiator. It's been The Rocket Shop. I've been your host, Tom Proctor, and good night.